Haven, fully furnished studio apartments at Nerul, Coco Beach, North Goa, starting from 62 lakhs, yet assured rental up to rupees 20,000. Terms and conditions apply.
And now it's time when I take this session forward with Honorable Minister for Legislative Affairs, Environment and Climate Change, Law and Judiciary, Public Works, Government of Goa, the Honorable Shri Nilesh Cabral ji. But before I invite him to address the gathering, I request my technical team to kindly relay a small film.
Shri Nilesh Cabral held a cabinet portfolio in the government of Goa, headed by Chief Minister Shri Manohar Parrikar. Shri Cabral is a member of the Bharatiya Janata Party and represents the Kurchuram constituency in the Goa Legislative Assembly. Shri Cabral holds the portfolios of Power, Non-Conventional Energy, Law and Judiciary, as well as Legislative Affairs. Shri Nilesh Cabral is also the chairman of the Goa Chess Association since June 2017. He was appointed the chairman of the Goa Tourism Development Corporation in April 2017 and held the post till 7th November 2018. In 2022, Shri Cabral won the assembly election on BJP ticket from Kurchuram constituency. Shri Nilesh Cabral was the chairman of Goa State Biodiversity Board, Goa State Wetland Authority, and member of Goa State Wildlife Board. Shri Nilesh Cabral has been involved in a lot of philanthropic activities for all sections of the society. He was the director of Goa Waste General Corporation. He has also been actively involved in promotion of fresh talent in the fields of sports, cultural and social activities. We warmly welcome Shri Nilesh Cabral.
Please put your hands together and welcome with a big round of applause Honorable Minister Shri Nilesh Cabral ji.
A very good afternoon to all my young friends who are here. A very good afternoon. I'm saying to you a very good afternoon. That's great. I hope I made you alive. Well, to take this forward, I have been given 10 minutes, so I will not waste time. Dignitaries on the dais, dignitaries of the dais, and my student friends. Well, I come from a state which has joined our beautiful country much before or much after 1947. In 1961 is where the small state of Goa had joined our big country. And I think Uniform Civil Code is still a part of this beautiful state. And when I say Uniform Civil Code, I think it's been fortunate that discussions are happening on this particular matter, entire country, but we are already following the same. It's something which I think I cannot finish in 10 minutes, but I would like to speak on this subject much more. But because of paucity of time, I go ex-tempo, but because of paucity of time, I will read because I should not miss some of the important facts of the Uniform Civil Code. What are the important facts of the Uniform Civil Code which has been there in Goa for last almost 100 years, you can say? Well, first of all, what we have to say is the Uniform Civil Code has been inherited by us from the erstwhile Portuguese rule in the state of Goa. And it is not only for any community, it is for the entire cross-section of the society, whether it is a Muslim, Hindu, Christian, Sikh or any person staying in the state of Goa has to follow the Uniform Civil Code. And if people of Goa can follow the Uniform Civil Code for the last 100 years, why can't the entire nation follow the same? That is the question I'm putting to all of you today. And I think the subject what we are discussing here should not be a discussion subject at all. And the law should come into force from today itself. But unfortunately, the discussions take place and get wavered. Now, what is Uniform Civil Code in the state of Goa, what we follow? We have, as I said, there is nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with the race, nothing to do with the sex, nothing to do with the caste, or nothing to do with the creed. It is something which was being followed for so many years and what the constitution also of the country in Article 44 says so. But somehow it has not been come into effect. What are the advantages of the Uniform Civil Code? Well, if I say so, if I may be permitted to say so, it promotes real secularism. All Indians will be treated the same. It will promote more rights to women by improving the conditions of women in India and treating them fairly and giving them the equal rights, which is being followed in the state of Goa. Uniform Civil Code is a sign of a progressive nation. We are 75 years old nation and we have to be a progressive nation. It is a sign that a nation has moved away from caste, religion, politics and will help the society to move forward and take India to its goal of becoming a developed nation. It will help and accelerate the national integration. Overlapping provisions of law could be avoided. Litigation due to personal laws will decrease. Sense of oneness and national spirit will be resolved. The country would emerge with a new force and power to face any odds, finally defeating the forces which divide our country. Our Uniform Civil Code is an absolute necessity for all of us today. We are following this in our beautiful state of Goa. And I would like to say that if we fare with the fair laws, not that the Indian laws are not there, I will just read this. Article 44 of the Indian Constitution expresses the desire to have a uniform civil code for all the citizens of the country. An existing positive aspect of this direction is that already there are uniformly encoded in different laws in in isolation areas, like the Property, Penal Code, Civil and Criminal Codes, Indian Evidence Act, and many such partnership and many such acts, which are operating smoothly for the last many centuries. Hence, the desire to have a uniform civil code in India, though appearing a daunting task, should not be one. I think we all in this country deserve to be part of this uniform civil code. And when I say, I think we have to ponder. My speakers before me spoke of all other religions. It was the Muslim religion or Hindu religion or Sikh religion or Christianity. But I think all religions exist in our beautiful state of Goa and every person follows this uniform civil code. And if people in Goa can follow uniform civil code, why should not the rest of India? Well, to taking this forward, I would like to say that we are part of this beautiful nation. We have leaders here. Now we have leaders, whether they are political leaders, social leaders, or leaders to be the future of this country. I have speakers behind who are also leaders in their own forms. We have young leaders who are going to express their form of uniform civil code. But I think Honorable Prime Minister is taking right step for this beautiful country. And today, on his birth anniversary, I think we as all here, I think there's going to be a resolution with all effects should be passed to strengthen him to take this uniform civil code desire to the entire country. But I would like to say that to make this uniform civil code a proper system, we have to bring a lot of other things in the country. We have to, because in our country, in our state, from 1914, we maintain our births, our deaths, our marriages. And no court of law decides what has to be given when there is a divorce. It is all in part of the system. All the rights, all the properties are shared by the Uniform Civil Code. When somebody is married, even the ancestral rights of the girl is shared with the girl when she goes to a different family. If she is divorced, she gets equal rights. The court does not have to decide. I think these few examples we have to see and do this as part of our system. Extrajudicial authority, that is what we have constituted a special notary in our state, where they have the powers, not the judiciary. And that is why what I have to come to say today as part of our beautiful state. I know your young friends, some of you must have been to my state, some of you won't be wanting to my state. But Uniform Civil Code, whoever comes and settles in my state has to follow And today, there is almost 35% of the population which is outside the state and who are following the Uniform Civil Code. And if these people can follow the Uniform Civil Code in our state, then what? Then entire country has to do so. And with these few words, not taking much of the time, we are time pauses. So I will always say that the right directions, as my co-MLA, who is the Speaker of the Assembly, has said her Chief Minister is taking the right direction. I think the young generation here today, who is in front of me, has to be very proactive. And as I can see, that 50% of the audience before me are girls or women, I could say. And that is why the Uniform Civil Code has to be taken in the right direction. And with the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister, I am very much sure that we will see the Uniform Civil Code in entire part of the country. With these few words, I once again thank Rahul ji for inviting me here. And I hope, because as a politician, we don't limit ourselves to speaking. But here I have limited myself to speaking. But anybody who wants to know more about Uniform Civil Code, they are welcome to my state, where I can share the beautiful parts of the Uniform Civil Code. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Shri Nilesh Cabral ji. Thank you very much for your address and your views. And now, my friends, the time has come in this session where we honor
बॉम्बे बाजार. तरेकवार साड्यांचो खजिनो असपी गोयचे नामनेचे ठिकाण बॉम्बे बाजार. साड्यो स्वता खातीर घ्या किंवा भेट म्हणून दिया. तुमच्या पसंतीच्यो सगळ्यो साड्यो आमच्या दालनान आसा. पारंपारीक साडी, डिझायनर, सिल्क, लेहंगा माफक दरान उपलब्ध. तशेंच स्टिचिंगची सोय. सगळे सण आता लागीं पावला. आयजूच भेट दियात बॉम्बे बाजार, 18 जून रोड, पणजी.